Hello friends, this is Sanjay Kumar, creator of Selector Sub and CrowPath. In this video, I will explain Selector Sub for Firefox, how can you use it and how to install and all the features in detail. So the very first thing, if you have tried it for Chrome or for any other browser, it is absolutely similar and it has all the same functionality, same feature as in other browsers. Okay, so it's very simple to install in Firefox. There is no need of it's not dependent at all on any version of Firefox or any other add-ons. You simply come to this selectorsub.com. Here click on Firefox, so it will open this uh, Firefox store, and here you click on add to Firefox. Here click on add. This requires a very basic permissions like URL of the website so that it will be having the DOM to generate the XPath and all. Here now you open, if any tab is already open, like this tab was already open, so you just refresh that page, and whatever tabs were open, just refresh those page to make the smooth use of it, or else you can also restart the browser. So whatever is up to you. Now it's very simple to use. On the website, if you want to if you want so first of all, if you where to find the Selector Sub, so it's very simple. There on the right top corner, you in the toolbar, you would be able to see this Selector Sub icon. So here if you click, you will find few of the details here, instruction, and then to open the to see the Selector Sub tab, just click on right click on any of the link here, let's say free sign up, then click on inspect element. Then on the left side you will find this inspector tab on Firefox. On the right side here, the Selector Sub will be the last tab. If it is hidden something like this that you are not able to see, so either you click on this arrow icon, the Selector Sub will be the last tab, or else you just expand this. Here you will find Selector Sub tab. You just open Selector Sub tab. Here all the possible selectors for this inspected element, you will find all the possible selectors generated, and this is the default view of Selector Sub. You can change and play around it. I will just explain here. So you see relative CSS selector, relative XPath, JS path, link text, partial link text, absolute XPath, tag name. So whatever possible selectors will be there, it will suggest those one along with their occurrences, and you can copy any of these values and use it directly in your script. So this is the very first view when you will open. Now what all amazing innovations it has, and what all new things which you have never experienced in history of selectors of XPath or CSS selectors or anything. Let me show you this. So for an example, we want to, because most of us believe that we should write our own selector, our own XPath. So yes, it helps you to build your own XPath without compromising your learning skill, and this is the tool which helps you to learn more about selectors. So how you can learn? So for an example, you don't want this auto generated, you can just turn it off at any point. This is the default view, and it's very simple, because here if you write in in DevTools, if you start typing or writing selector, that's little challenging in because you see as soon as you hit enter, it is giving one of 130, which is, even if this is not anchor tag, a link tag, a tag, it is also finding this. Why? Because this is matching the string /a here, so it will find that as well. So it's tough to write here, and whenever you will verify that one, that will go to that particular any matching node, and then again you have to inspect that element. So a lot of challenges are there, and in fact you have to type all these things at the rate text is equal to, and then you have to copy these values like this, then paste it here and verify whether that is a one matching node and all, right? But here in Selector Sub, you need not to do anything here. What you do, you just start typing. You see it tells you that A is there, this is the anchor tag, and here this is the only place which actually verify your XPath and CSS selector. It is not just it is not like search functionality. So here you select this, then you just open a square bracket, and here you see that all possible XPath functions along with their occurrences it shows you, and here it tells you that what is whether it is XPath or not, and anything you can select from here from the drop down. And so easy to build the XPath just in few seconds. Let me show you quickly how fast it is, and whichever matching element will be that you can find it here. So this one, if you want like the parent one, so that also you can build like this, and so easy it is. It will highlight in dotted orange line, or if you hover that will change to red color. So this is so easy. If you want to build your XPath with respect to some other element, that also it supports. So for an example, you want to we want to write an XPath for let's say blog with respect to free sign up. Okay, so how can we write the blog how can we write a XPath for blog with respect to free sign up? Let me show you how simple it is. You just start typing here. So first we have written the XPath for free sign up, this one. Then we will try to find out the common parent for both the elements, like for blog as well as free sign up. So let's just see which parent could be common for both the elements. So this menu item will be the this menu item this is the common parent. So what you do, you just write ancestor /ancestor, and here you can select this value, and now you know that this is the common parent. Click on this, so whichever element is inspected here, for that it will start giving the auto suggest. So now we have the common parent. From this we want to write the XPath for this one, blog. So you just inspect simply that element and /a, here you select this and then title blog. So this is how we have written the XPath for blog with respect to free sign up. You can simply now modify any of these values. Like you want to write XPath for blog with respect to forum, you just change this free sign up to forum. So here it is very simple, and in fact, like if you just delete this complete value and here it goes, so that's where we have written the XPath for blog with respect to forum. How simple it is. It's really amazing. It's really time saving for you. And simply, like, you can also write the CSS selector as well. So if you start writing CSS selector sub is really smart enough to understand whether you are writing XPath or CSS selector. So select this and you open bracket, you see all the possible options for CSS selector it will show you. So it gives everything. So this is really good and really incredible features you might have never seen. Like, we have the smart editor for each and everything, but we don't have smart editor for, we were not having the smart editor for selectors, so now we have that as well. It's really good, really useful, and really time saver. Now what else? Like, we have never seen anything which were telling us that what is wrong in our selector. So we were writing like XPath like this here. So we have written like this XPath. Now by mistake, while copying this XPath, we forgot something. Let's say square bracket. If you copy and paste this value here, you like, it will not tell you that whether this is the wrong XPath or what. It just tells no matches. But here, if you paste this one, this will tell you what is wrong in your XPath, like close square bracket. So this is the very first and the only compiler which helps you and which tells you like what is wrong in your XPath or what is wrong in your CSS selector. If anything will be missing, like single quote is missing, it will tell you that single quote is missing. So this really helps you a lot and tells you and makes you perfect while learning. If you type something wrong, like after this, if you type this will tell you after closing square bracket only / and open square bracket allowed, what is allowed, what is not allowed at some point. It will tell you all those things and makes you perfect to learn all those things, right? Now this you can also turn it on. And in fact, like if you want to write an XPath with like such a long class value is there, if you start writing XPath with this class, you have to manually replace all these like space by dot manually. But here in selector sub, you just put dot, it will suggest you, it will do everything for you. If you want to write CSS selector with ID, you just put hash and there you go. So it's really simple, makes your life so easy and so simple. And here when you write your selector, it will give you also selector sub gives you the best unique selector for that particular. Let's say for an example, if you right click on any element, and if that element is finding more than one matching like what some value is there which is not if you copy some value, copy XPath from here and paste that one here, so it is little long value, right? Then selector sub suggest you the better selector for your XPath. This is the better one. This you can directly use it in your script, and you click anywhere here to copy this value and use it in your script. So of course this is much better what selector sub gives for your selector always. Then what else is there? Like you see that it is generating with class, but you don't want to use the selector with class. You uncheck this, it will generate with something else. If any of the like field you want to generate XPath, that you can just pass, like it is generating with class, you don't want, you can uncheck this. If you want to generate with any specific attribute, that you can pass it here as well. So for like you just want to generate with data AOS, data des AOS, you just press and hit enter. You see it is generating. Now if you inspect the any of the element, if that will having the data AOS, it will generate with data AOS. So it will give the preference to your selector. Then suppose if you want to write in so we have written the XPath, we got all the possible attributes, and believe me, like if you compare these selectors what you got from selectors sub, like this is really new JS path for really helpful for developers. They need not to like go and find that, no need to write relative CSS selector. If you compare with any other tool out there in the market, these values you will find like very optimized XPath, I mean 1,000 times better CSS selectors. This is the only very first tool which gives you the relative CSS selector. If you copy the value from here from the dev tools, you will find that how better CSS selectors hub gives. Like in all the cases, in all possible cases, selectors hub will always give you the better CSS selector, better XPath, which you can rely on, which you can use it in your script. And at any point of time you want to build your own, you just build that by your own from here. And if you feel like why what possible things selector sub is not giving, you think that something else is possible, that you can always check like why this is not giving with dot normalize space, because the matching occurrences are 0, that's why it's not generating with that value. So that all those doubts will also be clear at any point of time. For any element you feel that this is not generating the correct one, you can check by building your own here. That's really simple and makes life really easy. Then many times we feel that okay, we have got XPath, but if you want to like get the XPath with command as well, yes, that feature is here. You just turn it on, and here you write document, let's say driver.find element, and you don't want to type that command each and every time, and here by.xpath something, I mean most of you have this command written the wrapper on this. So just wherever you have written XPath in your command, in XPath value in your command, just replace that XPath with XPath value and hit enter. It will generate the selectors with the appropriate command, you see here. So this you can directly use it in your script, and no need to waste any more time over there. And if you feel at any point of time you don't want this command, you can turn it off, and whatever you have saved, that will be saved. Let's say you have saved this attribute as well as that command. If you close this and open it again, that will be there. You need not to worry about that, what if like next time when you will open, will that be there or go. So you see that data AOS is still there, and if you turn it on, that command will be also there. Okay, then it supports SVG elements. So if you see that this gives you the, it tells you that this is an SVG element, it gives you the correct XPath for that. And here if you also type, it tells you the correct format of selectors for SVG child element. While if you copy the SVG child values here let's see what Firefox gives, though uh, Chrome gives the wrong values. So here also it gives the wrong format of SVG. You see, single file, this is wrong. If you paste this here in selector sub, it will tell you that invalid SVG XPath format. This is not this is the correct format for SVG. So it helps you a lot to learn about things. And then it also support SVG. SVG we have seen, it also supports iframe. So if any element is inside iframe, it will immediately tells you that this element is inside iframe. So for an example, like if you inspect this any of the element here, it will tell you that if any element, like let's say for this send us message, this element is inside iframe. So it gives you the XPath for that inspected element. This the XPath is CSS selector, as well as the XPath for the iframe inside which this element exists. So it really saves a lot of time. You need not to figure it out like inside which iframe it is, or whether this is inside iframe or not. It immediately tells you that this element is inside iframe, in iframe, and this is the iframe XPath, this is the relative CSS selector for this, and everything. Also it tells you that whether this attribute, this relative XPath which is generated, if it has the dynamic values or what. So it's giving you the suggestion that class looks dynamic, so you uncheck the class and it will generate with something else. So in all those aspects, it's really help a lot. It also supports Shadow DOM, which is the very unique feature. It was never there possible in the history. Like it was never possible to verify, believe me. So this is really amazing. As soon as you inspect the element, so you see here in the DevTools, you don't get to know it until unless you don't have the knowledge of the DOM. And many of you doesn't know this, that select Shadow DOM doesn't support XPath. So let me tell you that Shadow DOM doesn't support XPath. We have to write the CSS selectors only. And here as soon as you open selector sub, immediately tells you that this element is inside Shadow DOM and this element is inside Shadow DOM, and for such elements XPath doesn't support. This is the possible selectors, and here it gives. You can copy and use it in your script. You can also write your own here and verify. So simple it is. It highlights here. So this really helps a lot and saves a lot of time, and really helps you to learn more about these things. At any point of time, you can change the UI as per your convenient. You doesn't want to see this attribute filter, turn it off. It goes, you see such a neat and clean UI which you will never have ever seen in any tool. And like most of the tools gives you like, okay, that is standard whatever UI they are provide, but here you can customize it. You can set it accordingly, according to you, like whatever you want to see, whatever you use on a daily basis. And that's not it. There's a lot more in selector sub which is really amazing. If you right click on this element, you get the options here. Copy relative CSS selector, copy option of from the context menu itself. Click on this. Right there from here itself, you got to know that this element is inside Shadow DOM, and for such elements XPath won't support. We can also, like by default it just gives you the relative XPath option. There are more, so you just right click and copy XPath like this, you see, and here, so like this you can directly copy the XPath from context menu. You need not to even open selector sub. Keep it close, and directly from here, like free sign up is there, so you directly inspect, copy XPath. If you see that you got it here. Yes. And if you want more options like in context menu, yes, you get all the options here. So by default just showing the relative XPath only, and then if you want relative CSS selector, JS path, everything on the context menu, you can check it here. And now if you right click, you get all the options. Now whatever you want to copy, you copy. And if you doesn't want context menu, you can also turn it off. So this is really customizable, really helpful. And you see now it's not there, and whenever like next time you open any of the website, you will not find that one. And at any point of time you want to check on again, enable that. So it's really helpful, really saves a lot of time. And if you have any feedback, anything, feel free to reach out to me. And this is really helpful. I'm working full time on this, and I'm making sure that if you face any challenges, anything on this, I'm here to help you guys. Please do check out these footer links here. So all the details about selector sub you will find it here. The latest version with which I have made this video, that is version 2.0.5. Here you can find the version number. You can check out the footer links here, download for the browser. Always, like, whenever you have any doubt, please check out this video tutorial here, or the latest video tutorial with the latest version always be here. Our primary sponsor is Test Project. I'm really thankful, and a big thanks to Test Project from whole community, and this is also an amazing tool, and I would really request you guys, please check out and really support them. They are supporting us to keep this selector sub running and up always, and they are really supporting us. So, and this is an amazing test automation tool. Please click here and do check out this, and try at least once. If you have tried selector sub, you must check out this amazing community product, which is an amazing solution for web automation, mobile automation, and API solution. So you can just free sign up, it's absolutely free. You can record your test script, and here you just hardly it will take 30 seconds or 1 minute for you to just sign up and get access for all the solution of test project. So this is really amazing, and we are really thankful to Test Project, selector sub whole community, and from all the users of selector sub. Here you get to learn more about XPath and CSS selector. If you have any question, anything, do feel free to reach out to me on Slack. Here you can check out frequently asked questions. So everything is there, and I really request you guys, please add the review and rating. Hardly it will take 5 seconds for you, but it will really help me, and it will really motivate and let others know about this amazing innovation and help the community. And I'm working full time, guys, so please donate. If even if a coffee cost, that will be more than enough per month for me from you. If it really helping you in your job, that will be really helpful for me if you get me a coffee per month. So that will help me to get my bread and butter and keep running selector stuff free forever for everyone. And if you have any doubt, anything, feel free to reach out to me. With that, thank you so much.